warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Anis binti Azizi and my friends Nurul Najiha binti Muhammad Yusuf, Putri Safia binti Azizan, Nurliana binti Muhammad Jafri, Bahiyatul Haja binti Bahari, Siti Sarah Aini binti Samsul Ma'arif would like to present about market equilibrium, price control after the flood.
Analyze the consequence of the government setting a price ceiling. What is price ceiling? A price ceiling is government or group imposed price control or limit on how high a price is charged for a product, commodity or services. Government use price ceiling ostensibly to protect consumers from conditions that could make commodity prohibitively expensive. Such conditions can occur during period of high inflation, in the event of investment bubble, or in the event of monopoly ownership of a product, all of which can cause problems if imposed for a long period without control rationing, leading to shortage. Why? The government has enforced a setting price in order to avoid excessive pricing for commodities. Due to great demand for commodity at the time, merchants took advantage of the chance to boost the price of items by charging excessive prices. The government enforced a price ceiling to prohibit merchants from exploiting the price of goods. There are two positive consequences of the government setting a price ceiling. First, consumer welfare can be protected. Second, commodity can be purchased at reasonable cost by consumers. There are two negative consequences of the government setting a price ceiling. First, producer well-being is neglected. Second, producer might not be able to make a lot of profit. The reasoning for this is that it will be unfair to them because they will have to offer their product at a cheaper price because of the government fixed prices.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Najwa binti Muhammad Yusuf. My number is 2020950661. The next one, my part is I want to show you the diagram that is showing the market for generator with an equilibrium price at 300 ringgit, impose a price ceiling at 200 ringgit per generator. Okay, from this graph that have shown, we can see the maximum price, and the symbol is P1, is set below the equilibrium price P star. The market price of 500 kilowatt of generator is 300 ringgit. When the government set the maximum price of 500 kilowatt as 200, the seller must have to sell it the 500 kilowatt for generator as at 200 ringgit, not 300 ringgit. The quantity demand for generator is the 1000 kilowatt is greater than the quantity supply of generator 400 kilowatt. And as a demand or shortage of generator 500 kilowatt occur to the maximum price. That's all for me. Thank you. Okay, now I will continue the next slide. The next one is I want to explain you what the impact of the price ceiling on the quantity demand and quantity supply. Quantity demand, we are focused to the impact to the consumer, and quantity supply focus to the producer. Alright. To this question, when a price ceiling is set below equilibrium price, quantity demand will lesser than quantity supply. A reduced price of generator will increase buyer because buyer will feel the generator purchase are cheaper than before. It benefits consumer. They are able to enjoy good and service at cheaper price. Cheaper price, lower price. A price ceiling could prevent the price from rising, which will harm consumer. When a good price is lower, people will buy more for it. A lower price result in high quantity demand. Okay, but what happened to quantity supply? Quantity demand to rise and the quantity supply to fall. A price ceiling keep the price for a good from rising above a set maximum. And if that price ceiling is set below equilibrium price, as a producer, as a as a producer, they have to follow and sell their commodities at stimulated price which are lower or cheaper price. They are liable for the cost of producing the commodity. A maximum a maximum price can lead to emergence of black market as people try to overcome the shortage of the good and pay well above the market price. This is why price ceiling create a shortage. That's all for me. Now I give this presentation to Nur Anis. Thank you.
Who would benefit from the price ceiling and who would be harmed? Let the graph guide your thinking. Based on the graph above, the benefit of price ceiling is consumers because they could buy the item at lower price setting by the government. For example, the market price for power generators are 300 ringgit and the government set the maximum price for 200 ringgit only. As a result, the consumers save 100 ringgit of the power generator. Further, the one who would be harmed is the producer because the situation of flood could lead to high demand of generators. So they raise the market price for a reason, but the government do not let them to do that towards consumers because the government are more thinking about social welfare compared to producer who only thinking on profit. Did the price ceiling help the people it was designed to help? From my opinion, the design of price ceiling could not help people because it will lead to lower supply since they might face a serious shortage because of limiting the use of generators due to lower profits. When producers try to overcome the shortage of the generators, it can lead to the emergence of black market or illegal market at the price ceiling. So, producers eventually might force the government to increase the price of the use of generators.
The economic reasoning beyond the analysis. The government useless regulation, taxation, and subsidies to address market inequity. Government can also intervene in market to improve overall economic justice. One of the most common and well understood motives for government action is to maximize social well-being.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Fayatul Haja binti Bari. Today I would like to explain about the price control of oil and gas in Malaysia. The Malaysian government was caught off guard in early February when a Malaysian initially tested positive of COVID-19, that is coronavirus, in Shah Alam. Only after the first incident did the Malaysian government take many attempts to clean the population. In March, there have two died that are reported. Following that, movement control order was issued. Since pandemic COVID-19, the demand stock of oil market have result from international travel restriction. The second one is the parties who will be benefit is the firm of the company because they will get the increase of the oil and gas. Due to the pandemic COVID-19, the Malaysian economy is having reliance on oil money and its economy, which change in the world crude oil price. The government received RM38 billion in oil earning in 2018, accounting to the for 2.8% of Malaysian GDP. However, if oil price remain at 30 USD for other years, the government oil revenue is likely to plummet by billion of ringgit. Next, those who will be hurt by this intervention is the buyer, because it will decrease their income during the COVID-19. The unexpected emergency of the virus threw the oil and gas industry into the disarray.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Noliana binti Muhammad Jafri. My matric number is 2020990487. I want to explain part B. However, we agree that this government action has a direct effect on stock market return. For direct impacts, social uprise measure may have a direct negative impact on stock market return by affecting economic activity, means there would have controlling price on this market return. On the other hand, government constraint and healthy response and income support package tend to lead to a positive market reaction by increasing investor confidence and reducing the adverse economic effect of the disease. The united consequence will likely or have occur as a result of the intervention when it will be hunting the job and income of 10 million of people by completing the lockdown. People cannot do their job as before, especially for those involved. The MCO and international travel control have led to demand stop in the oil market. As compared to last year, the global oil demand fell in 19.9 million per day in April 2020. Starting from the second quarter of 2020, the global oil demand is projected to slowly recover. During the pandemic, demand of the oil reduced while the supplies increased due to majority of the economic activity has cases. For my opinion, it is better lead to the government intervention in the economy with the intent controlling price during pandemic COVID-19. Because if the government did not do that, we would face a lot of negative impacts. For instance, this study examined the movement control order imposed by government to respond the oil price in Malaysia due to the spread of COVID pandemic. Policy markets were under pressure to respond to the outbreak of the coronavirus, as oil price is considered of one the important sources contribute to the government revenue in Malaysia. Thus, government imposed movement control order that has far-reaching negative and positive effect on the oil price. So that's all for my topic, my part. Thank you.